You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum. We're in downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope, Matt, I hope we get things calmed down at some point soon, because this crazy state of affairs we've been living through seems to be getting crazier by the day. Another politically motivated murder in the United States yesterday, it certainly appears. Democratic lawmakers murdered in Minnesota less than 3 months ago. Now a conservative activist murdered in Utah less than 24 hours ago. We'll talk about it best we can momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, in about 20 minutes, Michael Wallace is going to join me here in studio. I'll talk to him about a number of different things in the NBA, including an update from Pablo Torre in his podcast this morning about the Kawhi Leonard no-show job that has been alleged as a salary cap circumvention tool. It's starting to look worse for the Clippers than it did even this time last week. I'll tell you what we know. I'll talk to Mike Wallace about it. We're going to do that in the next segment. Finish talking to Michael Wallace, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson has apologized to the Bills fan that he pushed the other night, the Bills fan who has subsequently been banned from all NFL stadiums. Lamar Jackson, the former MVP, also offered the young man some advice. I'll share it with you. We'll do that in about 40 minutes. The 49ers are expected to be without quarterback Brock Purdy for their Week 2 game against the Saints. I'll tell you what Coach Kyle Shanahan said. We'll do that in just a bit. A 19-year-old woman here in Memphis has been accused of hitting another woman with her car and breaking her leg. She backed into her. She tried to pull a Karen Reed.
Sounds like it.
She tried to pull a Karen Reed. Better hire similarly good lawyers. I'll give you the details on that little stupid story later on in the show. Paul Skeens was really good again last night.
Not good enough.
But the Pirates, they pulled him early and the Orioles won in extra innings. Nice victory, Big Bet Bennett. I'll give you some numbers. We'll do that in the third segment. And today, of course, is a day etched into all of the minds of those of us who are old enough to remember The year 2001, today is September 11th. It's the 24th anniversary of those terrifying attacks that brought the trade centers down in New York City. We'll spend a few minutes on that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then around 11:20, Thaddeus Young, Norton Hurd, both going to join me in studio. Looking forward to that. We'll eventually do GP's carryout and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with what is undeniably the biggest story in this country. It's not sports related. I suppose I could find a connection if you require it, but it's not a sports story as much as it's just a massive story, a crazy story about a well-known political activist getting shot in the neck and dying on a college campus in front of the world on a Wednesday afternoon in the United States of America. Just verbalizing that sentence out loud sounds weird, but that is what happened. Middle of the afternoon, Wednesday, suddenly I'm watching a murder of a prominent person on my phone. I watched Charlie Kirk get shot in the neck on my phone. I watched Charlie Kirk die on my phone so many times I think that image is going to be in my head forever. It's obviously awful, regardless of how you feel about Charlie Kirk himself. And let me be clear, I don't blame you a bit if you don't feel much positively, because based on a lot of the things he's said over the years, he was an easy person for a lot of people to dislike. What I knew of him, I mostly disliked. I recognized his talent. I understood he was skilled and effective and impactful. But most of the things I knew about him were things I wouldn't necessarily attach to the label American hero. Regardless, I've been logically consistent on this. I think it's absolutely insane and scary and sad that a 31-year-old man could have his neck ripped apart and die on video in broad daylight on a college campus. I never want that. We never need that. And now, for better or worse, we'll never forget that or where we were when we heard the news, when we saw that video. So, Big Ben Bennett, let me ask you, because everybody's got one of these, I think. How'd you stumble into the video of a murder that millions of us all watched yesterday?
It was actually, believe it or not, it was the NFL Dov Kleiman account posted it, which that's a strange account. Just I'm sure some people know that. I don't have to say anything else. But yeah, I thought it was fake when I first saw it. I mean, I did. I was like, this is like AI generated or something like that, and it absolutely was not. Because then you're just scrolling and you see it posted a million times and realize, oh, this is. And
then better versions show up and closer versions show up, and it I thought became pretty clear pretty quickly. We just watched a man get murdered.
Yeah, and I'm with you, man. I don't think I will ever forget that, seeing that image. That was about as disturbing as it gets.
I was on a golf course, and my buddy, I think we just made the turn and went in the clubhouse and get your normal, at the turn hot dog with relish and mustard. And I walk outside, and my buddy goes, another political shooting. And I said, what? He's like, another political shooting. I said, who? He said, Charlie Kirk. I said, what? He said, yeah. I said, is he dead? And he said, no. I said, is he going to die? And he said, they're saying probably not, but I don't know. And so everybody grabs their phone. We're literally, sometimes when you make a turn on a golf course, it can get a little backed up there because some people stop, some people don't stop. And you can look up and you've got 8 different people, 2 different groups, all standing on the 10th tee box. And this is exactly what happened to us yesterday. And it's just like, you just look around and everybody's just looking at their phones. It reminded me a lot of the day President Trump was shot in Pennsylvania, and I was at Peach Jam. And you just looked around Peach Jam, and it's all the big-name college coaches in the country. Some of the best amateur basketball players in the world are right here playing. There's games going on multiple courts, and nobody's watching any of it, and nobody's really talking to each other. Everybody's just scrolling their phones, trying to see what they can find out. And that's what it felt like. And though there were some initial reports from various people, none of whom were doctors, but I've been told he's in stable condition, or I've been told he's in critical condition but stabilized, or I've been told he's got a chance. And I want to make it clear that I'm not a doctor, and I didn't know in real time, but when I watched that video, my instincts were that's not something somebody survives.
Right.
And I think many doctors have subsequently commented on the video and said, I mean, you could have had doctors literally standing by him waiting for him to get shot in the neck like that, and there's not really much you were going to be able to do. And so it was as it appeared, and it was subsequently confirmed somewhat quickly that he did not survive it. Charlie Kirk, political activist, dead at the age of 31. And like I said earlier, I get it because it was sort of interesting watching the response to this. I think most people, certainly not all, just because all involves a lot of different people, but I think most people can look at that and say, regardless of what your political views are or even what you thought about that guy, like, there ain't nothing, like, this is supposed to be a civilized country. We're not supposed to be shooting people in the neck on college campuses when they're speaking, okay? I think most people agree with that. I don't think that's a weird thing to say. I think it's actually weird to maybe say the other thing. So I think most people agree with that. But then you watch the reaction to this event yesterday, and even if you were bothered by what you saw or what happened, there were still people who weren't too bothered by the victim in this situation because of, frankly, the way he had become famous and impactful and relevant. And it was by saying a lot of, let's just say, ugly things. He said a lot of ugly things, racist things, misogynistic things. And so when I say earlier, I get it if you're not heartbroken over this. Like, I understand that. I'm not going to be the person to try to shame somebody into shedding a tear. This guy probably wouldn't have shed a tear for a lot of folks listening and watching right now. In for a variety of reasons. And his opinions on various topics were obviously popular with a certain segment of this country, but wildly unpopular and disgusting to another segment of the population. So watching America react to this yesterday was interesting. And then, of course, a lot of people start using some of his prior quotes against him. Like, he was on the record about guns in this country and literally said at one point that gun deaths in America is just like the cost of doing business for a greater good. Like, this is the opinion he held on to. We're going to have to deal with gun deaths in America because the Second Amendment is more important than that. And before we start making stricter gun laws and blah, 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 you just have to understand that this is just more or less the cost of doing business. And then that happens to him yesterday. And a lot of people had fun with that in the ways that you can do on the internet. And I just read that quote and I don't know. I don't go, ha, ha, ha. I go, yeah, he was misguided. He was wrong. You know, we don't have to deal with this level of gun violence in this country. We shouldn't deal with this level of gun violence in this country. I think he was misguided on that. And now he's a victim of that. But I don't laugh about it or have fun with it because though I can be disgusted by a lot of the things he said and did, you know, I also look at a picture of him and his wife and those kids and, you know, somebody loved that guy. And I have found this to be true in most walks of life. Even the people you think you hate on the internet and the people who really hold some wild opinions that I couldn't possibly co-sign, they usually have some positive characteristics in there somewhere. Like I know men like this, like men that I don't respect. I don't like them. Like in my own life, it's like I don't like that person, but I watch him with his kids and he seems like a good father. A flawed guy, but he seems like he loves his kids like I love my kids, and they seem like they love him the way I hope my kids love me. And I just, I have a hard time separating the two. I see all of that when I look at this picture yesterday. I see all of that. And so I didn't think of karma when this happened yesterday. I thought of, God, I can't believe this happened again in this country. Or honestly, I can believe it, but man, it sucks that it did.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm logically consistent on this. And I don't think everybody is. And that's why you saw in some circles a lot of eye rolling yesterday. I'm logically consistent on this. I think it is awful and wrong that Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck yesterday and killed. But I also think it was awful and wrong less than 3 months ago when state lawmakers in Minnesota were shot and killed for their political beliefs. All right? I also thought it was wrong when Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with a hammer, skull fractured. He wasn't killed, but it wasn't because somebody wasn't trying to kill him. And what I found interesting yesterday, or at least another aspect of all of this that I found interesting yesterday, is that a lot of the same people I saw crying on the internet yesterday were making jokes about that. Crying yesterday, making jokes when Nancy Pelosi's husband gets beat with a hammer, skull fracture. Literally making jokes, posting memes. I'm consistently on the same page with this. I think it's all awful, crazy, and something we have to get under control. I don't laugh when it's Charlie Kirk and cry when it's Nancy Pelosi's husband. And I don't laugh when it's Nancy Pelosi's husband and cry when it's Charlie Kirk. I go, this is crazy. And it's a byproduct of this country reaching a place where the extreme left has gotten weird, the extreme right is insane, and when you combine that with social media and cable news and a country overwhelmed with guns, this is what you get. This is the type of thing that happens. So it was a shocking event yesterday and a shocking video to see, but unsurprising. Unsurprising. We got all the ingredients for this kind of stuff. We got all the ingredients for it. So what I hope is that yesterday was a wake-up call for everybody. I'll circle back to what I said at the top. I hope we can calm things down a little bit. And I hope we don't fall into a trap of one side pointing at the other and acting like it's all them. And I mean this both ways. You saw a little bit of this yesterday. The left is evil. The left is trying to kill us. We had Minnesota state legislators murdered less than 3 months ago. Democratic state legislators. Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked with a hammer. His skull was fractured. This is not a one-way thing. It's a two-way thing. And everybody on both sides needs to calm down. I can remember a time when you didn't even really know what your friend's political beliefs were. This is not something we used to fight about the way we fight about today. And the truth is, though, this jumped from the internet to real life. In most cases, the hatred and the vitriol stays on the internet, but it can seep into real life, and it did yesterday. And what you hope is that yesterday was a wake-up call. We should be able to disagree on things, on issues, and not hate each other. That is true in my day-to-day life. I am around people every day that I know I disagree with on issues, but we get along fine. In fact, better than fine, pleasantly. That's possible. It is the world we used to live in. It's the country we used to live in. But when you combine it with social media, you add in cable news, and then sprinkle the political rhetoric that, frankly, made Charlie Kirk who he was, you got all the ingredients for stuff like this. I hope yesterday was a wake-up call. I'm afraid it might not have been. I'm afraid it might just be the next step in a bad walk down a bad path. Michael Wallace in studio next.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career, I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio, and on Thursdays in the second segment, I'm joined by Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. He's on X, otherwise known as Twitter, at my Mike Check. He's here right now. Yes. Michael Wallace, good to see you.
Likewise, man. Good to see you too. Good to be here.
I miss parking next to you.
Yeah, we're in construction right now.
We're in construction right now, so we're just all out there fighting for our lives, trying to figure out.
So you're wilding out up there in the parking deck now, right? You're just all over the place.
I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place. I did tell you, I used to chastise you for backing into your parking spot. And just people in general. This is one of those things where I just didn't know what I was talking about. All right? I want to correct the record. I used to chastise you for backing into your parking space because I was like, what are you doing that for? Yeah. And then I discovered the auto park function on my vehicle. It parks itself.
Yes.
And I just love doing it.
You just let it do its thing.
I just enjoy the process of it. I find it unnecessary mostly, but now I enjoy parking perfectly, backing in, and I really just have to scroll and then hit a button, and then I just sit like this. And I just feel I don't know, there's something about doing it that makes me feel good. And I just can't wait to get back parking next to you so you'll be impressed by it. I want to impress you.
Bennett, does that qualify as another level of first world problems right there?
I want you to see. I want you to see.
Self-parking.
I want you to see how well my car parks itself. And I wish, now that I'm thinking through it, I wish I wouldn't even told you because I wish you would have thought it was me.
And just
you've been like, man,
and we're only a week away because we're supposed to be back on our regular parking decks next week.
I got to learn to keep some things to myself.
There you go. You were this close.
I got to learn to keep some things to myself. So this morning, Pablo Torre updated his podcast that's been making headlines connected to Kawhi Leonard and the so-called no-show job that his podcast alleges was a circumvention of the salary cap. C. Ballmer, the Clippers owner, came out and said, hey, he more or less said, I know what it looks like, but I'm just telling you, we ain't done nothing.
Right.
The update this morning is like, whoo, it's just hard to talk away. So as this company that had signed Kawhi Leonard to a $28 million job for nothing, just for people who aren't familiar, I know you are, and I'll get your thoughts on it. This company is about to go bankrupt. They have no money, but they owe Kawhi Leonard like $1.75 million. And so what Pablo was able to find out with new documents that he disclosed this morning is that a Clippers minority owner, who also happened to be Steve Ballmer's college roommate, invested $1.99 million into this company. And a week later, Kawhi Leonard was paid from this company $1.75 million. Adam Silver talked about this. The NBA commissioner yesterday said they're investigating, and it's the burden of the NBA to prove this is what it appears to be. But there's no other explanation for this. I mean, this is what it was. There's just, you can't talk your way out of this.
We talked about this last week when I was on with you, and I said that this story, which disturbing to me, and I said I can't, cast any aspersions or just jump to conclusions. But the needle keeps moving. The stories keep changing. At first, Ballmer came out and was resolute in what was what and what wasn't what. And then each day or every 2 days, it seems to be moving a little bit. He seems to have to admit to something else. Where there's smoke, there's fire, man. That's the old, the old adage there. And it's unfortunate because, back in the day, man, why not just put $2 million in a duffel bag and just send it over, right? Avoid the paper trail if you're going to do it, man, or some kind of way. But number one, it was a no-show job. Right. And then there was an expectation to still get paid for a no-show job. You know what I mean?
And it was a no-show job, just for people, because this is stuff that came out subsequently. $28 million to do nothing.
Sorry about that.
And this other company, so he's got a shoe deal with New Balance. If you were going to have Kawhi Leonard endorse anything, it would be basketball shoes, because he's an amazing basketball player. I don't know what else there is to him, but he's an amazing basketball player. And apparently a great businessman, but great So his New Balance deal was less per year than he was getting from Aspirations. This company to do absolutely nothing.
But he still wanted to get paid, though.
Yes.
Still pay me. Right?
And you're exactly right. There's a better way to do all of this.
It is.
I don't know why they had to involve all of this paper. But now they're in it. And I think, first let me ask you this, because I saw somebody suggest, Pablo really knows what he's doing. He's reporting this in stages. He's dropping the first part, making them respond, and they think they've seen everything. And then he's like, boom, no, now look what I'm coming back with. And that might be true. But in my background of reporting, and I bet you have similar stories, a lot of times what happens is you don't get a lot of stuff, and then, this is story one, this is story two, then I'll come back with this. You get enough to write a story, and then as soon as it publishes, people start reaching out. People start, hey, did you know about this? Hey, great story, but hey, do you ever hear about this? Hey, let me forward you an email. You're going to love this. I bet that's what happened. He did the story, it blew up, and then his phone blew up, and this stuff starts finding, when you are reporting a story like this, I could just go back to my old Albert Mean story.
Absolutely.
Here's the way that happens. When you start to report out something like that, you are digging and digging and looking and trying to find it. And the second you find it and report it, after that, the stuff starts to come to you. You don't have to look anymore. It just starts to find you. That was my experience, and I bet that's Pablo's here.
Yes, absolutely, man. And no one knows that journey through a story the way that you did it to a remarkable level, man. You changed basically how journalism was conducted in this city based on that. No, you did, man. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. That was some remarkable work, and it cost people lives, too. Like, lives were lost, right? Jobs were lost, right?
Careers, everything,
and everything else. So
freedom.
I don't think that this will get to that level, but it could. I mean, it really could, when you think about the ramifications in today's age. But yes, some of this stuff is coming to them now, because now people have to duck and cover and play defense. And you get more and more stuff that comes to you from that standpoint. But this is not going to be a good look for the NBA. It already isn't. And you're going into the season. Training camps and media days start in less than 3 weeks. And what is that Clippers media day going to be like? Like, can either one of Ballmer is supposed to be hosting an All-Star game this year, and it's going to be it's such a headache, man. And it's Pablo was on something, and now this story is just taking off, and now you got to follow it through.
So I listened to the majority of Pablo's podcast this morning as I was getting up, taking the kids to school, all that stuff. My poor kids had to listen to a story about salary cap circumvention on the way to school. I felt bad, but I wanted to hear it. So. And one of the things he noted in the CBA, which I don't think most people know, I was not aware of this, but like the clause is written about salary cap circumvention, and the way it is explained is that even though Adam Silver said yesterday the responsibility, the burden is on us to prove that this happened, according to the CBA, what Pablo read this morning is that any contract has to be, I think the term was rationally explained. So you have this contract with the Clippers. Can you rationally explain that? Well, yes, it's the typical NBA contract. You have this contract with New Balance. Can you rationally explain this? It's a shoe apparel company.
And it's related to,
I'm a basketball player. This is about what basketball players of my stature get for things like this. I can rationally explain it. Sure. You're in a Snickers commercial. Can you rationally explain that? Yeah, they wanted to. Okay. So now, aspiration. They were paying you $28 million, a tree planting company. They were paying you $28 million to do absolutely nothing. Can you rationally explain that? You can't.
No.
And that's where the problem's going to be.
And that's funny because that almost sounds like, we know you're a big-time gangster, but we're going to catch you on racketeering, right? It's almost like, or tax evasion. So it's almost like, the bottom line of this whole thing is that it's unfortunate because it's circumvention to the highest degree. And we've seen cases like this in the NBA before. We saw what happened with the whole tampering. I remember Juwan Howard going from the Washington Bullets at the time to the Miami Heat. The league stepped in and said, no, we can't. You circumvented free agency to do this. It's not going to happen. It was a $100 million contract that they lost out on Juwan Howard in his prime for. Before that, or right around that same time, the Minnesota Timberwolves, right, with the whole, it was a contract that they were given, and they ended up losing draft picks, money, and everything else.
It was 5 first-round picks.
That's what I'm saying. So the hammer came down. But in both of those cases, David Stern was a different sort of judge and jury than Adam Silver is. He's going to have to step up, and something's going to have to be done in this situation because there's too much smoke around this to just sweep it under the rug.
As always, we'll see. But at this point in time, so let's call it 10:32 Central on 9/11/25. I think the best case scenario for Steve Ballmer is that this minority owner, your old roommate, takes the fall. If there's no paper trail that actually loops you in, this minority owner stands up and says, hey, Steve didn't know nothing about this. I was handling this. And you take the fall, you lose your draft picks, but you get to keep your team.
You get to, yes.
You get to keep your team.
But then what do you do with Kawhi, though? That's the other thing. He's still under contract. He's still getting paid. This is a title contending type team. And they played pretty well last year.
And there's another franchise or multiple that are out there saying right now, like let's say Kawhi Leonard is healthy enough in the playoffs and he looks like the best player in the world, which is not impossible to imagine. There's other franchises out there going, that guy should have been ours.
Right, because of the free agency.
But they cheated to get him. Like, it's a real problem. This is a real thing that I don't think is just going to go away.
What do you do in that situation, though? Because, again, you can put all the onus on the friend or the ownership or the team, but where is Kawhi Leonard's, accountability in that situation? Does he face a suspension or whatever that is? So I don't envy the league when these things come up. Pablo Torre did a remarkable job pulling this to the forefront. But there's a paper trail to everything, man. And that's just, it's unfortunate, or it is fortunate that this was exposed if there is indeed some wrongdoing here. But, man, this is a headache for the league right now.
Do you have a sense for how common, if at all, this kind of thing is? Like, when you hear, oh, yeah, they were circumventing the rules to get Kawhi extra money in his pocket, do you go, that's crazy? Or do you go, yeah, that happens. That's something that happens.
To a certain degree, it does happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there are all kind of incentives, and I think the league has done a great job cleaning it up, right? Just like, and I'll give you a quick comparison. When we first started getting into this industry and covering college athletics, every single season, there were a handful of guys that were academically ineligible.
Oh, yeah.
When's the last time anyone was academically ineligible, right?
That's right.
That there's still academic issues and challenges. They just don't enforce it as much.
That's right.
So I think in this case, there are ways that when you're recruiting a guy and you're recruiting a family, you see guys get jobs that are part of the entourage. You see, and I'll give you a couple examples that are more public. Obviously, when everywhere LeBron James goes, Randy Mims is right there. You create a position for this guy, but he's going to be on the team playing. He's going to have access to all of the part of the building. He can go anywhere within the arena that he wants to go. They create a job for that to make him, it used to be the same way with Shaq and Uncle Jerome, his chief security guy. He ended up being a security guy for the Lakers or for the Heat and all of those kind of things. Those are some of the smaller ways. But some of the other ways, man, once you retire, you're already going to have this piece of this company when you move out of playing basketball for me. Oh, we're going to extend your career by 4 more years, and you don't even have to play. So there are ways that teams get away with doing it, but this one seems to be like at a guy in his prime, and you created a separate income stream to give him $30 million, man, and that's out of line.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, also famously, Jalen Brunson's father is on staff with the Knicks. I always wondered, like, where is the line with that? Because like you can pay assistant coaches whatever you want to pay them. There's no salary cap on coaching salaries in the NBA.
No, there's not.
So like if you wanted to pay an assistant coach $40 million a year, could you, as a way to circumvent the salary cap? Like, I don't think they tried that, but like his dad's making something from the Knicks, and he signed with the Knicks. So like those two things are probably connected. And I've heard stories about, you're a forever guy at a franchise, somebody who's going to matter in a city, you know, until you die. And the franchise says, all right, hey, listen, we want to get you this one last contract, but all we've got is the mid-level or whatever, however it works.
Or the vet
all we've got is this. Take this, but just know, wink, wink, when you retire, you're going to be an ambassador making $1.4 million a year here until the day you die. So, like, just sign the contract.
And it happens. It happens everywhere and with just about any team, right? And where there's sustainability and you see the front offices there for a long period of time. But like I said, there are levels to this, right? And this is at the extreme level.
This feels like they took it way too far.
Too far and just too public with it. Too sloppy with it.
Too sloppy with it. Took it too far and too sloppy with it. I think that's a good way to summarize that. Adam Silver spoke yesterday publicly and was asked about the changing landscape of the NBA's media partners. As you know, we're losing TNT, gaining Peacock, Amazon. Basketball is going to be on a lot, but it's going to be on a lot of different platforms. And in some cases, platforms that your normal NBA fans just haven't subscribed to. You're quite literally telling some NBA fans, if you want to watch every game that you possibly can, you need to subscribe to this, and this. And Adam Silver more or less said, hey, there's a bunch of free stuff, though. And, you know, they can watch highlights. And the answer was not well received. In fact, like, here's the headline at Sports Illustrated. Adam Silver provides strange response to rising cost of watching NBA games. For a guy who usually speaks well, he seemed to miss that one yesterday.
He did, and I think what he's always in promotion mindset, right? And he was trying to take something that was a serious question about economic issues facing the fans, and he spun it to say, okay, here's my economic answer to that issue, without looking at it and saying, yes, these are rising prices. Everything is rising, right? The cost of putting these games on, the cost of what these networks are paying to go into business with the NBA, the salaries are going up, and at the end of the day, man, can I still take a family of 4 to an NBA basketball game without sacrificing a whole week's worth of other? I mean, it shouldn't rival my mortgage, right? Or my car or whatever it is. But the bottom line is that I think he missed that one. He's smart enough to understand it and come back and try to correct it. But again, these are multiple streams that are out there, and when you have an open market like that, that's how you get a $70 billion revenue deal. You know, it prices me out. I'm fortunate that I work for the league and cover the league, because there will be a handful of games that I probably will be limited to only going to every year if I could, if I had to do it the other way.
Well, I mean, I think it's risky. I understand that the NBA is going to be making more money from media partners than it's ever made. I understand just grabbing the most money. Like, that's an easy concept to wrap your mind around. People do it in this world every day. Just where's the most money at? Boom, I'll grab that.
But how are those companies recouping what they're paying?
Yeah, that's their problem.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I guess Adam Silver would say that's their problem. Like, we just, as long as they agree to give us the money, it ain't.
Right.
I mean, this is like signing old radio contracts. It's like, how is this radio station going to recoup paying this? And it's like, that's their problem. And so I get that. It's an easy concept to wrap your head around. The reason I think it's somewhat risky is because the NBA is not the NFL. The NFL could basically go anywhere and everybody will follow it. All right? I don't think the NBA is like that, particularly in the regular season. You already struggle to get people to care about your regular season. Now you're making it harder for them to consume your regular season in some cases. There are going to be NBA people who open their phone on a Tuesday morning, go to the app, look at the scoreboard page and go, oh, wow, this game's tonight? I'd like to watch that. It's on Peacock. I don't have Peacock. I can't watch that. And though I would like to watch it if it was on TNT available to me, it ain't important enough for me to go sign up for Peacock. I guess I'll skip it. You will lose people because of this.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
When anytime you make your product more difficult or more steps required to get there, you're just asking them to get distracted by something else.
Yes.
But there are going to be some diehards that are there. You also, because of everything that these networks are putting in to making the games streamable and accessible, that might hurt the gate of actual people coming to the arenas to see these things. So it's a business model, man, that's challenging at a lot of different levels, but all we keep seeing is the salaries going up. This guy just signed for $320 million or $200 million, and it becomes like monopoly money. It doesn't seem like it's a reality, but there are ramifications that come with that.
Yeah, and I'll get you out of here on this. It's not unlike what we've watched happen in college athletics. The reason you have conference realignment isn't necessarily because we think these schools belong in these leagues and these schools belong in these leagues, so let's switch them up. It's all tied to media rights. Somebody tells in ESPN, ABC, Disney, they tell the SEC, you know what we would give you if you had Texas and Oklahoma? So they go out and get Texas and Oklahoma. And so that's an example of the SEC commissioner, and then the Big Ten commissioner does the same thing. That you scrap a lot of stuff you've spent decades thinking is important to get the most money you can possibly get, even if there are unintended consequences that are going to be negative. And it feels like the NBA is doing that right now.
It's the NBA is doing it. You mentioned college athletics is doing it. And because of that carrot at the end right there that everybody's seeing, you have places like, another example, University of Memphis saying, we won't take a dime. We will put in $200 million just to be aligned with the opportunity 10 years down the line to be lucrative in this situation. So it's an investment, man. But ultimately, to circle back to what you really originally brought up, is it tougher for the fans? And anything that's going to make it tougher or more challenging for the fans is not necessarily an ideal business model.
Because I think sometimes I guarantee Adam Silver's a little bit like this. Oh, yeah, you just got to subscribe to the little things. It's $12.99. It's no big deal.
He turned it into a commercial op. That's what I'm saying. And it was a legitimate question.
And I can sometimes fall into that way of thinking because here's the truth. I have Peacock, and I have Apple TV, and I have Amazon. I have all the streaming services, right? I also work 2 jobs. And so I could go so who cares? Put it on TNT, put it on Peacock. It ain't gonna make no difference to me.
Right, you'll find it. Right, you got it.
Everybody's not like me.
Right.
Not everybody has these things.
Right.
And even the people who can afford them are just gonna be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think the important thing you said, and Bennett will agree, everybody's not like you. Not everybody has all the streaming channels, and certainly not everybody has a self-parking car. So to circle all the way back,
it's nice.
The
Michael.
issue is
Very
that
true.
Very true. What we learned today is that not everybody's Gary Parrish.
But I want you to come walk. I want you to come walk out and just see it.
Can I get your login, please?
I just want y'all to come see it. It's so good.
Man, we need to go ahead and have a press conference out there.
You want to do a field trip?
Right?
It's funny. It's funny when you get other people in there that ain't seen it. They get a little nervous about it. I'm like, relax. It knows what it's doing. It sees that car. It sees that curb. It knows what it's doing.
See, that's when he has time. That's when he's on time coming in. He can self-park when he's on. But I know when he's running late because the wheels are like this.
Sideways. No, that thing's sideways. Yeah.
I never straighten my wheels ever. 47 years of however, taking me from age 15 to last year, I never straightened my wheels. It never even occurred to me. And now I straighten my wheels.
Until
mess up that axle, dude.
Now we
careful.
Good.
Yeah.
Now we good.
Does it put your axle in jeopardy?
I think so.
You think that's true?
Yeah, I think you got to straighten those things. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You don't want to park them at an angle.
Man.
You're stretching your cords.
Yes.
Right? You're stretching your cords
That's right.
like this.
I got so much to I got so
We're
much.
trying, man. We're
I got
trying.
so much
We're
to
trying.
learn. I have so much to learn. That's Michael Wallace, Grind City Media. Make sure you follow him on X at MyMikeCheck. Thanks for being here, brother.
Anytime, man.
All right. When we come back, we got quarterback news in San Francisco. Doesn't sound like Brock Purdy's going to be able to play in week 2. Adjust your fantasy lineups. We'll talk NFL next.
Who do you go to learn still? Like, who are you looking to for inspiration?
A couple years ago, I went and visited, even though he's younger than me, but we've got great admiration for one another. Went and visited Dan Lanning out at Oregon, right? A young head coach who's had some success. Mike Norvell may not have had the season he wanted in the past. We can still get on the phone and talk about things, right?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurd, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Boy is mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Brock Purdy is expected to miss. Oh, we got to start with Lamar Jackson. I think I got it out of order. Let's start with Lamar Jackson then.
Let's do it.
Hey, Lamar Jackson spoke yesterday for the first time since shoving a fan, a Buffalo fan, in week 1 of this NFL season. The fan, we talked about it earlier in the week, had put his hands on DeAndre Hopkins, put his hands on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson shoved the fan, and yesterday took an opportunity to apologize to him. Do you believe Lamar Jackson needed to apologize?
No.
Do you think it's nice that he did?
Sure, but I don't think he needed to at all.
Yeah, I wasn't sitting there waiting for a Lamar Jackson apology.
No, bro. I mean, you put your hands on me, anything goes, man.
Except in that world, the sports arena, it's not anything goes.
Yeah, but people have the right to defend themselves. Like if somebody's smacking you in the helmet, you have the right to shove them away from you, in my opinion.
I don't disagree on its merit, but in professional sports, it can be a problem if you put your hands on a fan, almost regardless of what they do.
I mean, I guess I don't know. Like if
I personally had no issue with Lamar Jackson doing what he did, but if it would have escalated to a different place, it could have become problematic.
That's fair. I mean, like if somebody runs on the court and puts their arm around like one of the Grizzlies players and they shove them off of them, like, I mean, I think that's totally justifiable.
Okay, so a shove, okay, but what about if it was a punch? What if somebody hit Lamar Jackson on the helmet and he punched him?
Man, I mean, again,
so we arguing the difference between a push and a punch?
Sure. I mean, I think you don't put your hands on people that like without permission. That's what
I think that's a fair rule to live by in life for all of us, football players and non-football players.
Yeah. You don't put your hands on folks without permission.
Whether you're a football player like Ryan Clark or a non-player like Peter Schrager, I think you just don't put your hands on people.
Yeah.
That's more or less what Lamar Jackson said. He was explaining what happened. Here's what he said. He said, I got pushed and I was like, what? I thought I was outside. I wasn't even thinking about me being out there on the field. But my apologies to whoever that was. I don't know who it was. My apologies to him. Just chill next time. You can talk trash and stuff, but keep your hands to yourself. I agree with
keep your hands
I
to
agree
yourself.
with that.
Yeah.
So he says, like, I lost time and place for a second. I live in a world where, you're gonna put your hands on me, I'm gonna put my hands on you.
Yeah.
All right. but I then remembered very quickly, oh, shit, I'm in a football game right now, and I can't be putting my hands on a fan, so that's why I'm apologizing. Yeah. But apology delivered. Now keep your hands to yourself. And I think that's a good rule for all fans. Keep your hands to yourself. Football fans, basketball fans, baseball fans.
We also live in like a very the tension is very elevated, right? I mean, what we just talked about in the open, like you never know what anybody's motivation is, right? Like, I know it's just a fan at a game, but you don't know anymore. Like, what? We
lived through, I don't know if you lived through, but I certainly lived through Monica Seles getting stabbed on a tennis court by a fan.
Right.
We've seen other incidents. I think basketball is kind of the scariest because, you're
as close to them as anybody.
If you want to be 2 inches away from LeBron James one night, in October at FedEx Forum, you can do that. You can buy the ticket that will put you inches from LeBron James. And there's nothing. I mean, it's just like, you're right there. Mm-hmm. And you got strangers right around you. So, yeah, tensions are high, obviously, for a lot of different reasons. And, let's just I don't think tensions being high had anything to do with what happened with this case. But, just circle back, keep it simple. Let's all keep our hands to ourselves.
Number 2.
Brock Purdy isn't expected to play in week 2. Kyle Shanahan, he's the coach in San Francisco. He said it's a, quote, long shot. Tell me how big of a deal this is.
They are, and again, let me knock on wood real quick. They're the NFL version of the Grizzlies.
Are they?
They are.
Their status report.
I think hopefully our curse is broken.
You think their status report rivals our status report?
Yes. They are the most injured team in the NFL. Or at least their stars are the most injured players in the NFL. I feel
they had the one fellow that got shot. That's tough.
Pearsall. Yeah, they lose. He's actually healthy and playing. They lose someone every week. I swear to God, when the NFL season rolls around, without question, it seems like there are 49ers on the injury report every single week, and it's usually a big-time player for them.
And Brock Purdy, he's got a toe issue and a shoulder issue. His foot's messed up and his shoulder's messed up. That's a hard way to live.
Yes, that's tough. And they kind of alluded to it after the game the other day that he was kind of dealing with some stuff, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. And it's just I think that they coming into the season were probably had a chance to win their division, but you gotta have players. You gotta have players.
Bennett, I don't see how anybody would argue with that.
Yeah.
You're going to have players.
Yeah, that's tough. Maybe Mac Jones can hold it down.
Mac Jones. I forgot he was alive.
Yeah, he's a 49er now.
How about that?
They
just come and go, don't they?
Kyle Shanahan's a great coach.
Yep.
And he definitely gets the most out of his team. So we'll see. But, they already lost George Kittle for a couple weeks. Juwan Jennings been dealing with injuries. Christian McCaffrey plays for the 49ers. So he's healthy right now. But
I don't think I've ever seen him actually play a football game.
That's what I'm saying.
I've seen him take pictures.
Right.
But I don't think I've ever watched him play football.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think I've ever watched Christian McCaffrey play football. I know he exists, and I think people like him when he plays, but I've never personally seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah. So that's a tough spot. I had to unfortunately drop Brock to the waiver wire last night.
Yeah,
no. I'm in a bind. I can't. I'm in this league with my buddy Ben Hogan, and it's and CJ's in it too, and that we don't have as many bench spots.
What is it, a producer league or something?
It's kind of like a producer league, but it's...
You let Brad Carson be a part of it?
No, it's not a producer league. It's just how we all happen to be in this. We've been in this one for a long time together.
You didn't want Brad Carson to be a part of it?
CJ beat me last week. But we don't have as many bench spots as a normal fantasy league. So you get an injury, you got to start thinking about who's going to the waiver wire.
Poor Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Could you see yourself maybe picking him up again one day? Once his toe heals and shoulder.
I would hope so.
Let's hope this isn't the end for Brock Purdy.
I hope it's not either. And you know what? I don't think it will be because they paid him a lot of money. So
yeah, they're going to have to make it not the end.
Yeah, it can't be the end.
Can't be the end.
It cannot be the end.
All right.
Number 3.
I got a wild story for you.
What's going on?
It involves a 19-year-old woman.
What's going on?
Oh, man. She seems wild. So it's a 19-year-old woman.
I always love Kyra's headlines. I never know what it's going to be when it's one of these weird stories.
Memphis woman.
Memphis woman.
No, that's
What'd she do?
That's what we're talking about. All right, let me tell you about this woman. First off, let me find her name. I want to make sure. Her name's Hannah Graham. She's 19. Hannah Graham.
Okay, what Hannah do?
Okay. She's at a gas station over in Parkway Village.
Mm-hmm.
The Sunoco on Perkins. I think we've probably been at the Sunoco on Perkins.
I don't even know what that is.
We used to run around Perkins a little bit. I bet we've
What's
been.
a Sunoco?
That's the way I say it. How do you want to say it?
How do you spell it? I do not.
Sunoco.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah, I think 27 block of Perkins. Let's see where this is on Google Maps. Let's see if we've been here. Let's see if we could have been lucky enough to, because it feels like I know where we're at over here.
I mess with Perkins and Perkins Extended.
Oh, buddy, man, I used to run around here all the time. We used to work on Perkins.
Yeah,
real close to Perkins.
Well, I believe it's Willow to be exact. But
yeah, but I mean, it's over there. You know,
it's over there.
You can see Perkins from there.
Yes,
it's about an 8-iron away.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, Hannah Graham, she's there. I wish I'd have been there. This is the first time I've regretted leaving 92.9. In theory, if I worked over there still, I could have maybe seen this.
Yeah.
Okay. Hannah Graham, little 19-year-old girl, young woman.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, she gets into an argument with another woman. So they're arguing about whatever women argue about in Parkway Village. Oh, who could even guess?
Mm-hmm.
And the woman, this one woman, not Hannah Graham, she was standing like next to a building outside of the gas station. There's like this structure. And Hannah Graham was in a Nissan Altima. And I guess she had watched that Karen Reed documentary and got some bright ideas because she allegedly got the car positioned like she was going to get ready to auto park, but I don't think her car has auto park.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't need it. And then she lined the other woman up and boom, accelerated backwards and ran her straight into the thing and broke her leg.
Damn.
She attacked her with her car, Karen Reed style.
Yikes.
This is like our own little Karen Reed.
Have you ever, this reminds me, I just off subject for a second, because we love a good wild video.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen
you know what? In fairness, I've had enough.
Yeah, I've had enough. Yeah, I've had it. But have you ever seen the one of the girl, like she runs into someone with her car and plows her through a building?
Karen
have you ever
Reed.
seen that one?
Karen Reed.
It's insane. And then the girl gets hit. She literally the car runs her into the building. She goes through the wall. The car goes through the wall. And the girl that got hit just gets up and like runs off.
What is she?
It was crazy.
Superhero.
It's crazy. Go find that one. If
I don't know why you didn't
send
send me that one.
Yeah, I'll find it and send it to you.
I did have this moment yesterday where I was like, maybe me and Bennett should calm down on the crazy videos.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. These eyes have seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yesterday felt like I don't need to see this.
No,
like this.
no, not at all.
So anyway, Hannah Graham, now she's arrested. She's got a mugshot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think makes a 19-year-old woman mad enough to attack another woman with her car in reverse at a gas station in Parkway Village? What do you think leads up to that?
I bet a boy's involved.
Or a girl.
Yeah, not to, yeah.
You never
or
know.
a girl.
Benny, you never know.
I'm sure a significant other is involved.
And probably a vape pen.
Maybe a vape as well.
I've seen young women fight over vape pens.
Yeah, okay.
Let me just read it to you.
All right.
WREG.com. Man, they always got some doozies over there. I don't know who runs that website, but buddy, there ain't nothing
that
bad.
One gets wild.
There ain't nothing bad that's ever happened in the city that WREG is not on.
That's very true.
They are on it, buddy. I'm just going to read it to you. Let's try to figure out what happened.
Okay.
A 19-year-old woman is accused of intentionally hitting another woman with her car during an argument at a Parkway Village gas station. A witness told police he saw a woman in a gold Nissan Altima hit the gas and pin the victim against an outside wall of the Sunoco gas station in the 2700 block of Perkins. The victim suffered a broken leg and the building was also damaged by the impact. According to police, Hannah Graham was identified as the driver and was charged with aggravated assault and leaving the scene of an accident involving injury or death. Police said the incident happened on September 4th and it was all caught on camera. Investigators said the footage showed the driver of the gold Nissan put the car in reverse, line up the vehicle with the victim, and accelerate Witnesses said there was also a passenger in the Altima, and the driver fled the scene after hitting the victim. The victim was taken to Regional 1. She had surgery on her broken right femur. Whew. Police said the victim and a witness were able to pick Hannah Graham out of a 6-person lineup. And she's being held on a $100,000 bond? She's still in jail? She's going to appear in court today?
I never understood why.
Free Hannah Graham. Do you want to get behind it or not?
Hell no.
No, let her sit there.
Yeah, I've never understood why people do that with their cars. Like, you're damaging your car. I mean, I'm sure that car has damage. Like, you ran it into a person in a building.
I would argue roughly 99% of people who are ever involved in a road rage incident
aren't thinking in the moment. Yeah.
I bet they mostly look back on it and they're like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Why
did I do that to my car?
Why did I do that, period? I don't road rage at all. Do you road rage?
I've tried to stop because it's gotten wild.
You die road raging now.
Yeah, I've definitely I've cut people off. I've flipped people off. I've done all of that.
I don't road rage anymore.
I try not to anymore.
You can cut me off. You can speed past me. You can flip me off. You can honk at me. Whatever you want to do, buddy. I'm just gonna keep it. I ain't even like I see you.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna say nothing to you. 'Cause I don't know where it goes.
Right. I'm in the same. But I've definitely tried to chill out over the years.
I had a fella yesterday. He got mad at me because I pulled out in front of him. I probably wasn't paying attention. I was probably in the wrong. Okay, I admit that. He got mad at me, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and he was flipping me off. He was into it, And there was a part of me. I was like, you know what? You're not gonna flip me off. My car can self-park. I'll flip you off. And then I was like, okay, I flip him off. Now this guy follows me. Now I'll pull into my kid's school. He pulls up beside me.
Right.
Now I'm shot in the park. It's just like my mind started going to a crazy place.
Yeah.
So I just let him flip me off. I just sit there and took it. He flipped me off the whole way, down, for 5 straight minutes. Every time I look back,
damn.
He was just sitting there flipping me off.
Yeah, he was really mad.
He was really upset. I don't really know exactly what I did, but I just let it go. I don't road rage anymore. I just feel it's not worth it.
I've tried not to. I can't always hold myself to it.
I home rage.
I definitely get mad, but I'm trying my best to let it go.
You're more likely to see an outburst from me at home as opposed to on the road.
I get it.
Because I know nobody in my house is going to shoot me. At least I don't think anybody in my house is going to shoot me.
Right.
But you never know. So what do we think happened here? You think it's about a vape pen?
No, I think it's about a significant other, probably. That's what I would assume. That's usually...
Do you think this is...
Sounds like a crime of passion.
Do you think it's an event between two strangers who were just arguing over the type of things strangers argue about at a gas station?
What do you argue about at a gas station?
Man, I can't believe you got the last pizza stick.
Yeah, I
came here just to get a pizza stick and you got the last one.
I don't think so.
You wouldn't fight over a pizza stick?
Probably not. I'll let that one go.
You wouldn't attack a woman over a pizza stick?
Just get a bag of Doritos.
Yeah, I know. I'd work around it. I'd be like, shucks. Maybe next time. But I don't think I'd fight over it.
I'd let that go. Yeah.
But I could see other people not being willing to let that go.
Well, good luck, Hannah.
I went into a gas station one time in Oxford, and if I would have gotten accosted by 20 Ole Miss students, I would have understood. I went into the gas station. I think I'd had too much to drink. And I bought all of the chicken on a stick at the gas station. All of them, the whole tray. All of them. They said, how many? I said, I need chicken on a stick. They said, how many? I said, all of them.
Is that pretty good?
It was not good.
Yeah, I like chicken on a stick. I got some at the fair the other day.
No, I mean the chicken on the stick is good. You don't need a whole tray of it.
Right. I would assume that once that chicken on a stick, it sounds like one of those things, a gas station chicken on the stick or a fair chicken on the stick, that's one that you just got to eat right when you get it, when it's right hot off the tray.
That's right.
Trying to transport it places and stuff like that seems...
It was a mess. Yeah. I bought it all, and I realized very quickly, this is rude because there's people behind me
that want this.
They were standing in line to get a chicken on the stick. So if I remember correctly, I passed out a few.
That's good.
I was like, here. Like, did you want one? Did you want one? Here you go. And the plan was, I think we were down there for a wedding. And the plan was like, hey, everybody go back to the hotel, and everybody just come to my room, and you bring the beers and the, whatever. And
I'll bring the chicken
and I'll bring the chicken on a stick. I got a whole tray of it. And you know what actually happened? We went back to the room, fell asleep. Nobody came over.
Yeah.
And we woke up the next morning with a giant tray of chicken on the stick.
Oh, man, that smelled.
You don't want to wake up with a hangover and 50 sticks of chicken in your room. It was not good. It was not a good decision.
No, that sounds kind of gross.
I have matured enough in, my 40s to be able to look back on some of the things I've done in the past and recognize them as clear mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Clear, immature, poor decision making. And that night is one of them. Shouldn't have done that.
I got some of those as well.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I got a few of those as
Should
well.
not have done that. Hannah Graham appearing in court today. You see her mugshot?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should say look at her.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said it's WREG?
WREG.com.
Okay.
She's a young woman. She looks, I don't know what she looks like, but
Go find it and take a look.
I wouldn't expect her to be just running into people at a gas station. By the way, how do you think you're going to get away with that? There's going to be cameras at a gas station. Every Sunoco I know is going to have a camera.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to get away with this. So what are you doing? You're not thinking. That's what it is. That's the explanation. You're not thinking.
Oh, I actually did see this. I saw this the other day. Damn, she messed up that building too. My goodness.
She hit the building. She's doing court this morning, Bennett.
All right, good luck.
I hope she can get Karen Reed's attorneys because she's going to need them, it sounds like.
Number 4.
Congratulations. You got an Orioles victory over Paul Skeens last night.
That was pretty cool.
Now, Paul Skeens didn't take the loss because he only threw 64 pitches. He was long gone by the time we got to extra innings, and the Orioles win it 2-1 in 10. How do you feel about the Pirates using Paul Skeens in this way? He doesn't seem to object, but there's a lot of people who look up and go, this is the best pitcher in the world, and you're only letting him throw 64 pitches. What are you doing? Like, what are we doing?
And it played out pretty much like I thought it was going to play out yesterday. Like the whole time he pitched, great.
He was amazing.
Everything went well. Orioles were losing, Pirates were up, and they take him out, and the O's were able to get back into it and win it in extras, which is like, I think it's like their fourth in 5 games. It's some crazy run they are on right now. It sucks. Like, baseball is such a just weird sport because like they're out of it. They ain't got a chance at any kind of postseason berth, but like they're playing well right now, and it's fun to watch them, but it means nothing.
The Mets have a chance of making the playoffs, playing poorly right now, and it sucks.
Yeah.
But back to Paul Skeens. Like, there was a graphic circulating on social media last week, I think after Paul Skeens' last great start, and it was comparing his first 2 years to Dwight Gooden's first 2 years. Because they're both they are probably the greatest first 2 years of pitching in the history of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
What Dwight Gooden did and what Paul Skeens is doing. They are like, and the thing you noticed, the biggest difference between the two, you know what it is? Innings pitched.
Yeah.
Doc is throwing 1 billion innings and Paul Skeens is throwing barely any. And it's just a different in approaches. Now, we have more information today than we ever did. But there was a Mets-Braves game a few weeks ago where they brought that entire Braves World Series team back, or a lot of them back. And so you had like Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, all in the booth together. And they were talking about modern-day pitching. And because I watch all the Mets games on SNY, Ron Darling's in the booth, famous pitcher from the 80s.
Yeah.
He talks about this all the time. And he's like, listen, I'm not going to argue with the data, but I just don't understand why when I was playing, we could all throw 110 pitches. We'd try to complete games. We would throw 220 innings, and we're just not even asking people to do that anymore. And it just doesn't feel right. Like, we've lost the art of pitching. Even Greg Maddux was like last week, he's like, now they just teach them to throw as hard as you can throw, but not for very long. It's just not the way we learn to pitch. Like, the approaches are totally different. And it does feel like something is lost. Like, once upon a time, it was something cool when a guy would throw a complete game shutout. Right. And you're just not going to see complete game shutouts very often anymore.
Yeah. And I just feel bad for Pirates fans because it's like, I'm not saying that this is how it's going to go, but this is how it goes. He'll be a Yankee or a Dodger or or a Met at some point. Like
I really do think this is a test for the Pirates organization.
Yes,
for that owner.
God, give your fans something.
I talked about this while you were on vacation with CJ. If I were the owner of the Pirates, this is what I would do. First, let me tell you what's going on. They are trying to negotiate with Paul Skeens now to reach a deal, and he is more or less reportedly saying, let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
I know the money will be there whenever, but like, who am I going to be playing with?
Right.
I don't want to spend my whole career going 10-9 with a 1.92 ERA.
And like, but your track record's not good.
I want to pitch game one of the NLCS.
Right.
I want to pitch game one of the World Series. And there is no evidence that I'll ever be able to do that staying here, as long as you are financially committed in the way that you're financially committed, which is barely at all. Show me who you're going to put around. Don't show me the contract you're going to offer me. Show me the contract you're going to offer to other people.
Yeah.
Show me who you're going to put around me. I know you'll pay me, but I can get my money anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who else are you going to put me with? I need to believe I can accomplish things here. I know I can win Cy Youngs here or anywhere else because that's just relying on my arm. But can I win pennants, World Series? Show me that I can reasonably think I can. Then let's talk. If I were the Pirates owner, I would make a very public proclamation that we are going to do it right now. I would stand up at the end of the season and I would, in a very public way, say this is the franchise that lost long before I was here, but lost Barry Bonds. The greatest hitter of all time. Played here. We had him, but we didn't pay him, and he left and set all the records somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have maybe the greatest pitcher of all time. His career is certainly off to that same type of trajectory, and I am not going to be the owner that makes kids put their Paul Skeens jerseys up when he signs with the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Mets or the Cubs or the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what I'm going to do. And I want to be clear, I'm not sure it will work. But I'm going to spend I'm going to get us into the top 10 in payrolls in Major League Baseball in advance of next season. I'm going to spend real money. Now, what some of you in the media and fans have told me over the years is that if the Pirates would put a team out there, then we would support the team. It's kind of a chicken egg argument, right? What has to come first? How about you just support the team? Then I'll know that you support the team. Then I'll spend the money to put the team out there. Well, no. How about you put the money out there? Then we'll support the team. Well, now you're just talking in circles. Tired of talking in circles.
Yep.
I'm going to put the money out there. I don't know if it'll work. I've got some financial advisors who tell me it won't. But I'm going to put the money out there. And I'm going to have the Pirates in the year 2026 with a top 10 payroll in Major League Baseball. And I'm going to do that to prove to you guys that I'm genuinely committed. I'm going to do it to prove to Paul this is a place where he can achieve things. And I'm going to do it to finally try to test this.
Mm-hmm.
There are small markets in baseball cities all over the country that don't believe you can spend like this because you can't recoup it because it's just not here. That's what financial advisors, some of them tell me. I'm going to test it. Let's go. You become the most popular person in Pittsburgh just like that.
Yep, for sure.
Just like that. What is the point of being a billionaire and owning a professional franchise if people just hate you? You spend billions of dollars to have a whole city just hate you. I've never understood that.
Right.
If you're going to own it, at least try. And if it doesn't work, you can stand up and say, hey, we were 8th in payroll and 28th in attendance. We were 8th in payroll, had the 9th best record in Major League Baseball, and we were 28th in attendance. I'm doing my part. Now you guys aren't doing yours. Now you can have that conversation.
Yeah.
But until you try it, you can't have that conversation. This is the time to try it. We'll see if they do with Paul Skeens. But last night, he only threw 64 pitches. He's got probably 3 starts left this season.
Number 5.
Today is September 11th, 2001. When you woke up today, there was a time in this country where you woke up and it was just impossible to not hear about 9/11.
Yeah.
Like it's 9/11 and the president's at the Trade Center site and they're doing something in Pennsylvania and they're doing something at the Pentagon. And it didn't feel like that today, perhaps because of what happened yesterday as just overwhelming news coverages. But 24 years.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember where I was when it happened. I still think about it when this day rolls around every time. I was sophomore in high school, White Station, and the kudos to the teachers, or at least most of them. They, turned on the TVs and let us consume the news coverage, because it was just an insane day. I'll never forget it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody will. It's one of those things, just like what happened yesterday, you'll probably never forget. And what happened 24 years ago on this day is something you'll probably never forget. I was home. I've told this story 50 times. Kelly and I were supposed to be in New York. This was the year that we started dating. Mm-hmm. And for her birthday, I bought her a trip to New York. Her birthday's September 2nd. And we were supposed to be there. The way we had talked about it initially, it was like we were supposed to be there on this day. And it was just like, so what'd you get Kelly? Like, I talked to I remember having a conversation with my dad. My dad was like, so what'd you get her for her birthday? I was like, I'm going to take her to New York. She's never been to New York. And he's like, when you going? I was like, I think we're going, this week here. And it's this day. And then for scheduling purpose, something happened and we just pushed it back. And anyway, I woke up on 9/11 to my phone ringing nonstop. I was
because people thought you were there.
My dad was calling nonstop. I was at the Gayoso house. We lived, right downtown. And I finally answered the phone. I'm like, what? He's like, where are you? Where are you? I'm like, I'm at home. I'm in bed. What's going on? Turn on your TV, and there it is. Just like, and it was weird because basically none of us saw the first plane hit the first tower, because it's just something that happened that morning.
Right.
But then all the news coverage just starts, and then we all watched the second plane.
Mm-hmm.
If you had the TV on, you saw the second plane hit. And Kelly and I did end up going for New Year's that year. So we were there a few months afterwards, and it was still just smoldering in Lower Manhattan. It was just like smoke and still all the signs of missing people, and a lot of rest in peace. It was a sad place still. And we were there for New Year's, and it was that you talk about tensions being high. There was real concern about Times Square and ball dropping, and is there going to be another attack? There wasn't, but security was crazy. So yeah, just an awful day in our history, and a day that, like that date, 9/11, that's just going to resonate forever. How about this? I got some friends who are having a baby like any day, and the initial due date, I want to say, was 9/11. And they were like, can we push it off of that? Let's just, they're going to induce labor, I think tomorrow. I think on 9/12. And they intentionally waited an extra day to do it because they didn't want their child's birthday to be 9/11, which makes sense.
I think so.
Yeah. You don't want your birthday overshadowed by.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Anyway. The memorials were happening all over the sites earlier today, and I guess cable news is busy right now.
Yeah.
Norton, Hurd, Thaddeus Young, they're going to pop in studio next.
Why are you dressed like that, CJ? What the hell is wrong with you?
CJ, can you do some high knees?
Is that a towel he has tucked in his shorts? Why are we allowing this?
It's a towel.
Why are we allowing this?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. And guess who else is inside the Built Ford Tough Studio, downtown Memphis? It's NBA veteran, Memphis' own Thaddeus Young, and the director, program director of Team Thad, Norton Hurd. Good to see you guys. What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Everything's good in my world. I appreciate you being here. And Thad, when you sat down off the air, I was like, all right, help me. Are you officially retired or not? You say you're not officially retired. Still waiting on a phone call, maybe.
Yeah, not officially retired. I actually worked out for about 20-25 teams in Vegas during Summer League and been getting a lot of great feedback. But you know, that the way this new apron is killing teams on signing vets and different things like that. But at the end of the day, like, you know, for me, I'm good with whatever happens going forward.
It like, for whatever happens going forward, it is an amazing career. Like, you entered the NBA in 2007 after the 1 year at Georgia Tech. You know all the numbers, but like, men don't make it this long in this league. There are countless dudes who came after you and left way before you. Mm-hmm. You know, is it 17 years? 17 years is an incredible career.
Yeah, 17 years, man. Like, you know, it's a blur. You know, you think you're gonna play 5, then 10 happens, and then 12, and then 15, then you get to 17. Like, oh wow, like, this really been a blur. But you know, guys now are not making it. I mean, 4 years now. Yeah. You know, the way the league is, and with this apron and all this other stuff that's going on, new CBA guys. I mean, we've seen the most guys jump overseas than we've ever seen. Yeah. You know,
so you have the career that you've had. It's a long career, but you're still a young man.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of former NBA players, and they say one of the weird things is you think you look forward to retirement. You're like, I got all this money, and now I got all this free time, and you get bored pretty quickly. Have you found that to be true?
I mean, for me, I've always had a bunch of different things going on outside of basketball, from, you know, being in business, owning my own businesses, multiple businesses here with Shoot 360. We have 2 locations here, having a trucking company here, and then having a bunch of other things going on. My wife has a salon here. Yeah. So it's like, I have a venture capital company. So just a bunch of different things that I have going on. So it's like, for me, I'm always busy.
So let's talk about the impact both of you guys have made in this community. First with Team Thad, but now with a prep school that sounds like it's going to be incredible. When you guys started this, did you have any idea it would turn into what it is? Like, your name now resonates in grassroots basketball around this country, and you're one of the more prominent grassroots coaches in this country. It's really a sweet story.
No, it's great. When we first started, Gary, you know, our background, 2 guys from the urban community, Walker Homes, probably about 5-10 minutes from here. So we knew we wanted to give back. I'm not sure I knew, because we were so young. We started in our early 20s. You know how it go, like, guy playing basketball, he might have a friend that want to do something. A lot of time the friend don't know what they doing. So it wraps up pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had a team, like, just like the NBA. It's so many teams that have came and went. I mean, everybody, should have started an AAU program, but ultimately I just think our vision together and just the passion for wanting to, help kids and being from this city and just like even Thad, I don't think when y'all was just talking, Memphis has a great, we did have a great basketball. We were one of the best basketball cities in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But for most of Thad's career, I started thinking about pros, and we had great college players. For most of Thad's career, he was like the only dude in Memphis that was in the NBA.
That's right.
Like people would come get a cup of coffee, you know what I mean? No disrespect. And then campaign started. I might be missing somebody. It was Sean at first, then campaign started. But it really wasn't a lot of guys.
No.
So for what he did, it really helped Memphis basketball for a while. And so the things we're doing with kids and grad root, we love it. And now I'm bringing the first Nike prep school here. Hopefully we can revive the city more with that. More kids stay here. When we do get 1 or 2 kids that's good, they're not going to Mount Hurd. They're not going to Prolific. They're not going to IMG. We can create some, beautiful here with 2 homegrown guys and our other leadership from around here. And, Willie Gregg and just everybody that's on the Nike scene, make a good thing happen.
I want to talk to you guys about that in a second. Just one more thing on the grassroots stuff. Does your grassroots background as a player help influence the role you've played in all of this? Because if I remember correctly, and man, it was a long time ago, but didn't the Pump Brothers come in and create a team here?
Yep.
There was a Memphis Pump and Run team.
Yeah,
there was
my dad coached it.
There was obviously the Los Angeles Pump and Run team, but then they created a Memphis Pump and Run team for Thad. I don't know if people understand that it's very much like what Nike did with Cooper Flag. They just built a Cooper Flag team.
Yeah.
Well, the Pumps built a Thaddeus Young team, and so you and your father were in grassroots basketball in a pretty intense way. And I'm just curious, does that help shape your vision for what you've been doing all these years?
I think what helped shape my vision was me and him kind of sitting down and just talking about, and me just asking him as a best friend, hey, what do you want to do? And he's saying, man, I love coaching. And then I'm saying, okay, well, let's get you into coaching, so let's figure it out. And then we started the program from that day forward. And I told him, I said, look, I'll support it. I said, but what we'll do is I'll take you to all the people that I know at Nike, all the people that I know at all these different shoe companies, and then I want you to start building relationships. And I think that's what's kind of made him into who he is today. He's fostered those relationships. I obviously can't be around because I'm playing in the NBA, but he's fostered those relationships and took it to the next level where he's well respected all across, the U.S. in basketball. And for me, I always wanted to just give back to the community. I wanted people to see that I wanted to give back, but also my focus is to create more of me.
Right.
Create more pros as opposed to just having good high school players and good college players, but more pros, that helps the city.
And one of the things I love about it, and I see this throughout the EYBL, when I go to Peach Jam, I don't even know if you remember this, but I sat with Thad during one of the Team Thad's game this year, and then you look over and there's Chris Paul, and he's really involved. And then I've seen LeBron, and he's really involved, and I've seen Carmelo, and he's really involved. A lot of you guys, and I think most notably you, I don't want to get in your pockets, but I imagine you can write a check in a couple of seconds.
Right.
Your time is more valuable. You're a real presence around young people in the city in a way that I admire and appreciate. I love what you've been able to do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's really just about putting in the work with the guys and getting them to understand what it feels like and what it is to be a pro.
Right.
Just giving them they have great games and they're all gonna be good. But the problem is they have to get locked in because all pros, they're wired just a tad bit different. So I'm just trying to teach them what resonates and with the league, and then how to get wired different to be able to play the game.
Let's talk about this prep school. It was announced recently. It's going to be a part of the Nike umbrella. And the main thing it will do, as you hinted at earlier, is there was a time when I was covering, let's say, Thad in that era of high school basketball. The best players were at Mitchell or East or BTW, or where at Hamilton,
White Station, everywhere.
Right, I was covering Ernest Shelton against Scooter McFadden.
Raleigh, Carver, it was going down back then.
Eventually, for reasons that I don't think are hard to understand, either private schools or prep schools started recruiting the talent, and next thing you know, everybody's at Briarcrest or Lausanne, and then outside of the city. So Kennedy Chandler doesn't even spend his end of his high school career in Memphis. And I don't blame any parent for handling any situation. Like Kenny was presented with an incredible opportunity to move to, I believe, Kansas and finish his high school career.
Sunrise, yeah.
But I like that you guys have created an option for the next Kennedy Chandler to stay home. You don't have to chase these things in Kansas or Florida. We've now got it here. Expand on that. What is happening?
Man, you hit it. First, I got to give you a compliment too, Gary. That's why to go all the way back, I remember them days because I was in high school and he would come to me like, Hurd, I got to do this. And, I'm not all-American but I'm like, when Pump and Run came, do you think about that now? That was some gangster stuff or whatever.
Oh, as well. I mean, again, I don't want to bring up all this stuff or talk out of school, but it was like, my understanding of it was, let's get Thaddeus Young's dad to create a team and write a check and let's go.
But the crazy thing about it, I'm a kid, remember, because I was able to be around it because it was like all the best players that were smart, Pierre, Willie, Kim, they all rolled with that.
Oh, yeah.
You remember so the why and everybody was discombobulated them couple years. So when you brought that back, it brought memories. I'm like, I haven't even thought about that.
And then as soon as Thad was gone, the Pumps were out of Memphis.
That is true.
It's like that Pump and Run team, it was really the Thaddeus Young team for like however many years.
The way he explained it, there was a kind of, but what's funny, them being smart doing their homework, at one point in time, Thad wasn't the top player. I don't know if you remember, like Pierre Niles was. Some people was with him. You had a couple other people. So for the Pumps to see like, he about to be the one and we need to go create this team, that was just AAU awards back in them days. But no, at the prep school, there's been a lot of groundwork laid over the years. Other people have tried to come in the city, Penny, a lot of good people. And so this thing has been laid down, right? And so although we're coming in and doing it as many people before us, and just where Nike is right now, too. Nike created this new league this year, 20 teams. It's like they kind of been partnering with people, but to do this year-round is going to be nothing like it. Like, imagine EYBL throughout the year, though. Right. You know what I mean? And because of liability and stuff, it'll never get to 40 and 60. I think they want to keep a tight niche on it between 20 and 24 because it's just a lot of liability when you're raising, because you're kind of raising them. The kids 24/7, they live here, they do different things like that. And so just to keep them here now, I appreciate Thad, me, our other leadership team, our coaches, Pruitt, Sarwat, just a lot of guys. A lot of people put a lot of work into this because it's hard, just from Willie, just everybody behind the scenes trying to let Nike know. You know how people feel about our city, too. It's a good basketball, but you got to get kids to move here. It's always a Memphis question.
It's tough, and like this is another thing, and that I respect immensely. It's important to keep these kids here because then it feels more like home. Like Thad's here. He didn't have to be here. He could live anywhere he wants. Penny could obviously have lived anywhere he wanted, but he came back here. I've got other former NBA players who, like, I used to work with Danny Granger at CBS, and he lives in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm like, why do you live in Scottsdale? And you're from New Orleans, and you mostly played in Indianapolis. You never played in Phoenix. What's going on here? And he said, I had enough money. I just Googled where's the best place to live if you love to play golf. And now I've set up shop in Scottsdale. And that's an awesome story.
Scottsdale a great place.
Oh, it's great. It's beautiful. I get why he did it. But I'm just saying, he is not making any impact in his hometown. He doesn't go back there except to see his family every once in a while. Dad lives here. Penny lives here. We've been lucky to have these prominent athletes call this their home, and now we're creating this thing where the best basketball players will remain here throughout high school, or at least they can. There's a real option for them now, and I think it makes it more likely that if they do go on and do all the things that Thad did, or even a fraction of them, they're more inclined to come back here and try to make a difference. They see, like, I do think this works this way. You're a young person, you see an NBA veteran and a prominent grassroots coach try to make a positive impact in your life. If that happens for you, you pay it forward and try to do for the next. And that's how we start changing things.
Yeah, I mean, for us, like, the program is going to be huge. Like, it's going to be huge for the city. It's going to be we're trying to be homegrown, where we have a bunch of our kids continue to be able to play and groom up through not just Team Thad, but through TCA. And then as well, me personally, like I'm back and forth all the time. I have a bunch of business stuff going on, but I'm still here. Like I was this morning, I was at 6 a.m. practice.
Right.
getting in with the guys, and I'm in and out,
Right.
making sure that, I still have my pulse on this thing and that I'm still like with the kids and talking to them. Like we text, me and the kids, we
They
text.
need to see you.
Yeah. Me and the kids, we text, we have conversations. I'm giving them pointers. Like, and I'm always telling them like, look, just because I'm not here or I'm not always going to be here doesn't mean you don't have access to me.
That's
you can call me at any point in time and we can talk about whatever. I watch game tape. I watch highlights. I watch everything. Just the same thing with Team Thad.
So with this Tennessee Collegiate Academy, walk me through it. It opens and we'll start competing this upcoming season?
Yeah, right now. So I don't know if it was a lead question, but just for the first question you asked me. So we also giving them, Gary, like, how some prep schools open. Well, there's a million prep schools in the world. And some of them in a warehouse and with 10 kids with a laptop. No, we want to make this because since they're living here, it can't just be a basketball experience. We have to show their parents a whole. So our kids are getting a high-level education from Tipton Rosemark Academy that we partner with. So they go to real school every day, a private school that's been around. I think they said since 1940 something. I could be off. I don't want to get in trouble with that.
It's been around a while.
Wow, yeah. I didn't fully know about it because I usually didn't go that far out. Because now where you at, it's gonna take 40 minutes to get there. But Dr. Weir and Dr. Graham and the leadership over there has been amazing.
Right.
I mean, they treat our, of course, the school isn't, just to say this publicly, it's not a diverse school. It's more of a one-sided. But they treat. I mean, I say them are people from heaven. They treat those boys awesome. They didn't got them to adjust, bringing in 10 African-American big kids or whatever.
And that's good for their, campus as well. Like that's good, just good. Like one of the things, my kids are in a private school, and one of the things I've talked to, like I love the school, but one of the things if I were trying to pick things I don't love, most of the kids there look exactly like my kids.
Okay.
And I would rather them see some different faces more often than they do.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we got other leadership with like TK, like I said, you got Pruitt, Tony, Coach Wright, and you even have legendary, I don't know if you heard us yesterday, Sean Williams have came around, spoke. And
I saw Sean last week, and he looked great.
He looked great. And his mindset now, he want to give back so much. His passion about the kids. D-Tap, different people that came through there, and I give everybody their praise and Thad and thank him and everybody. But that's how it started. They're coming this upcoming year. They go to school or they practice, at the school, some other outlets. But it won't be as many home games because they're in the Nike Scholastic. So we have like 14 games that Nike set up outside of other major tournaments that will go on. It's just a big deal. You got anything to add to the layout of how we started that? Anything you want to
No, I mean,
say?
we started and we just tried to lay a good groundwork and a good foundation, just how we did Team Thad. Just making sure that we have solid people and we have, good character, high character people around and just making sure that, the kids and their families feel safe.
So last thing before I get you guys out of here, what is the long-term goal for this? I think right now most people who follow basketball have at least heard of Montverde or IMG Academy. Can the Tennessee Collegiate Academy reach that level where some of the best prospects in the country, not just the ones who are from here, they're staying here, but we're pulling people into our city as well? Is that a goal?
So that's the goal ultimately for me. I think with anything, I think it's gonna be really good. I'm a straight up guy, Gary. Like IMG took time. So I definitely think the long-term goal, we do it the right way, the right people, the right coaches, just the right educational, the right leadership team stay on board the right way. I think in 5 years, this thing could be really crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that takes a lot of hard work, and when people say IMG, I love to dream big. I get scared because I done been on that campus. And so for me, I'm not.
That's a different deal.
Yeah, I'm not knocking because I think on the court, we can still be as competitive. But you never know. Like somebody, we might be able to afford land. I mean, I don't see nowhere in Memphis that IMG could be built, but I'm just saying.
But for people who don't know IMG, they're amazing in basketball, but like the best 12-year-old American tennis girl might be there
crazy.
too. Like it's everything.
Yes.
It's everything.
I mean, that's a $100,000 a year school. So.
yes.
It is different.
It's a
$1 billion play.
I've been there. It's obviously it's top notch.
Yeah, they actually just sold it to some private group for billions of dollars. Yeah. That's when I knew it was serious. But we are in the same league when you mentioned Kennedy Chandler, my bad, with the – now that's what's amazing. Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah. We're in the same league with the Sunrisers, the Oak Hill Academy. Yeah. I mean, these guys were recruiting him back in school. Sure. You know, the Oak Hill Academy, the IMG not in the league no more because they're not Nike. Okay. So that's the first year that they had to go out because Nike fully owns the league. It can be owned. But Mount Verde's, La Lumire's, AZ Compasses, like we're in the same league. So it's like you can stay right here and get everything you want and everything you deserve.
And what that also means, just for people to make sure they understand it, if this would have been in place, 3 years ago, that would have meant Cooper Flagg was coming here to play a basketball game in high school. You're going to get some of the best players in the country are going to be coming through here to play basketball games. Yep. Let me ask you this, because back when he was young and I was younger, I knew Thaddeus Young when Thaddeus Young was 15, 16 years old, whatever. And I remember writing about Andre Allen when he was in the 8th grade, and like Sean Williams and Ernest. I knew all these guys. I don't know who's who now. Who are the next great young basketball players in Memphis that I need to pay attention to?
Well, you grew up in a fun time to write. I'll say that.
It was awesome.
Okay, Dylan Jones. He's actually at TCA from Bartlett. He's a top 50 player in our city. DJ Oak at Bartlett, he's like top 10 or 15 on some new sites. Okay. Fred Smith, but he's finna leave. He's a senior. Huggins at Briarcrest, kid that moved from Nashville. Right. He's a borderline 5-star. Braylon is a really good point guard in the country. Willie Kemp is doing a good job at Whitehaven. He's currently sneaking some guys over there every year, so you always got to keep an eye on. Whitehaven and Bartlett are kind of like, Bartlett, and Briarcrest are kind of like the juggernauts. Right. And then you see who else as the year go on. Tonio Kidd at St. George. So we got to figure, Gary, where I don't know your thoughts, and me and you have to do a whole nother show on this, and me just call you. And when I say this respectfully. When we talk about why it's not like it used to be, it's really a lot of different answers, Gary. Like when Thaddeus was coming up in South Memphis alone from Hampton, we had 20 guys over 6'7". It might be like, I don't know if it's the food. It ain't even that many tall people. No, it's not that many tall kids. Like if it's one kid that's Thaddeus height, everybody has to kiss his butt, and he might not even be nowhere near as good as Sean.
So that's why. Do you have a theory why that is?
I don't. It would probably take another show, but I know people be just saying it quick, like, oh, just because of this or that. No, it ain't just because Briarcrest came and stole him, because back in the day, with so many people, Briarcrest could have stolen him, and we still had places in, you know what I mean? When Mitchell used to play Hamilton, the car line would be up the street. Mitchell played Hamilton now. You could get there at 7:29 if it started at 7:30, and you could probably get a front parking spot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, like some of my favorites, like basketball experiences, are like being at a BTW Kingsbury game back in the whatever. Like Brian Kizzy and like that kind of stuff. Like these names just pop into my head. But, like take me back to that time, and then I'll promise I'll get you out of here. What was it like for you? Because I was at your press conference at Mitchell. What was it like to stand up and more or less say, I'm not going to be a Memphis Tiger?
It was very hard.
I know.
It was very hard. But at that time, I felt for what I needed to do, I needed to kind of get out of the city.
Yeah.
Like, I had been here. I had been doing my thing, and I just wanted to just explore the world. I wanted to explore things outside. Plus, I already knew I was going to school for 1 year.
Right.
Like, it was hard.
Yeah.
Like, Memphis was
I just remember thinking there's a whole city putting a lot of pressure on you right now.
It was a lot of pressure, but I didn't mind the pressure part. I was more so stuck on, at that time, the fact that, like, it was certain things that, like, it was certain positions that I didn't want to play in college that I was probably going to be forced to play. And then secondly, like, it was, for me, I just wanted to get out because I had been exploring the world from an AAU standpoint. Right. And I was just like, all right, like, if I'm going to do this, I want to play in the ACC. At that time, the ACC had the Dukes, the Marylands, the Virginia Techs, the Virginias. Like, all those schools were phenomenal, right? And so, like, when you're talking about the two best leagues at that time was probably the PAC, and probably ACC. Yeah. And plus, like, some of the guys that I was, like, gunning for, they were playing at North Carolina. They were playing at Duke. They were playing at Maryland. They were playing at all these different schools. So I wanted to go and see those guys. And if you know me, you know I'm the person that's never ran away from a matchup.
Right.
So I got to go and see all these different matchups in order to get where I'm trying to get to, and that was to the league.
Yeah. Well, I know it wasn't the most popular announcement in the city.
Yeah, it wasn't It wasn't the most, but at the end of the day, like I still had friends on the team with University of Memphis, Pierre Niles, Willie Kemp, like all those guys were like my guys, and I played with them growing up, Sean, all those guys. So, for me, and plus I always, like, I still watch games.
Right.
Like I'm watching Memphis to this day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I probably shouldn't do this, but I watch Memphis games more than I watch
Georgia Tech
games. But that's because like the coach, right? Penny.
Right.
Me and him go way back. Penny was coming to my high school games.
Right.
So our relationship is like this. So with our relationship being super tight, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch those games, and I'm gonna watch the kids, some of the kids that we're actually putting at University of Memphis and stuff as well.
Yes, I was gonna say, like, I know it wasn't a popular announcement that day, but man, it's hard to argue it hasn't worked out well for you.
Right.
Like,
right. And I'm 1-0. I didn't want to know. We beat them in the Maui.
I vaguely remember that as well. So listen, just thank you guys, for being here, but mostly for doing what you're doing. Like a lot of us like to talk about how much we'd like to see the city be better. Mm-hmm. Some of us actually do things to try to make it better, and you guys are great examples of that. I appreciate what you're doing, and thank you for your time today.
No problem, Gary. When we come back, we didn't get the chance today. Go over the roster at some of the amazing boys that's on that roster, because I know the community be wanting to know, from Dylan, Lincoln, Mason, those some of the kids out there, Christian Gibson, Vital, Nate Miles. It's a really good roster.
Support of the city. We want the support of the city. They're in the community now, and they're Memphians now. We're gonna say
Chase Gibbons.
Let's get you.
Jackson.
Let's get you back in studio a little closer to when the season starts, and we'll bounce through it and get excited about it.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you guys. Awesome stuff. That's Thaddeus Young and Norton Hurd. We'll be back with GP's Carryout.
Why are you dressed like that, CJ? What the hell is wrong with you?
CJ, can you do some high knees?
Is that a towel he has tucked in his shorts? Why are we allowing this?
It's a towel.
Why are we allowing this?
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
How did they sell you on Memphis?
I was really looking at the success that Memphis had, something I wanted to be a part of, and then the reputation Coach Silverfield and Coach Cramsey had as an OC, the things that he was able to do with Seth and the things that he's done in his career. I felt like that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I felt myself being able to excel in his offense. And also, I looked at the weapons around and everybody that I was going to be playing it with.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Big thanks to Norton, Hurd, Thaddeus Young for coming in.
That was awesome.
They were great. It's always fun to catch up with that and Norton and like just sort of reminiscing about old Memphis high school basketball stuff. Like I remember those days fondly. Like not many people who are a quote prep writer coming out of college want to be a prep writer forever, right? You have goals, and so I didn't want to do that for a long time. But I really look back on the time that I did it, where I was in the high schools, and I look back on those times fondly, like being at BPW, being at Hamilton, being at Mitchell, being at East, being at Kingsbury, like some of my favorite.
White Station Ridgeway.
I was at both of those places as well. So it's always fun thinking back to those things. And it was cool to have Norton and Thad in studio. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Well, since we came on today, the FBI has released an image of the alleged shooter in the murder of Charlie Kirk yesterday on a college campus in Utah. You seen the image yet?
No.
Looks like a gamer.
A gamer?
He looks like he could play Fortnite or shoot a political activist.
Damn. I'll have to look at it. I haven't gotten a chance to look.
He is a young man, my skin color, glasses, hat, and is apparently on the run right now. They're saying they do not believe he's a threat to the community, but I don't know. I'm not a killer, so maybe I don't know how a mind of a killer works. But here's what I would think if I were a killer.
Mm-hmm.
If I just murdered Charlie Kirk with a neck shot and my picture was out there, I know they know who I am. I know they're going to get me. I know I'm going to prison for the rest of my life or getting the death penalty. Is there anybody else I can pop before
I was going to say,
like
I would consider him a threat.
Like if I'm going to go down for this, like is there anything else I can get done before they catch me? That's how I would think if I were a killer, right?
Yep.
But I'm not a killer, so maybe killers don't think that way. But that would concern me if I were in the if I were a right-wing activist or in the Utah area. Like this guy who just shot Charlie Kirk in the neck is still out there, and you keep saying he's not a threat to the community, but why wouldn't he be? If he's about to go down forever, why wouldn't you be worried he might try to do at least one more thing before you get to him? But I guess that's their problems. I'll let them worry about that.
What's today's biggest game?
It's Thursday Night Football, Bennett.
Okay.
Commanders and Packers, Lambeau Field, 7:15, Prime Video. The Packers are a 3.5-point favorite. You got a win last night. Total is 48.5. How you gonna act?
Not loving that half point. I'm not loving that half point.
You don't want to lay a hook.
I'll go.
There's two ways to look at that half. You look at that half point. There's always two ways to look at that half point on a 3. You look at it and you go, man, I don't want to lay a half because that's when the game-winning field goal ain't going to get me where I need to get.
Right.
But if you're on the other side of it, you go, ooh, go ahead and give me that half. Because that's where even if I lose on a game-winning field goal, I'm going to cash a winning ticket. It's all in your perspective, Bennett.
I think.
What kind of perspective do you have on that half?
Man, the Commanders didn't look super sharp to start. I think the Packers are really good. I think they're going to win that division. Give me... You know what? We have Mike Wallace in studio today.
That's
He's a Commanders fan. We'll go Commanders. Yeah.
Bennett said in honor of Michael Wallace, he will take the Washington Commanders tonight, plus 3.5 at Lambeau Field.
What are we watching on TV?
So you know the Terrence Crawford-Canelo Alvarez fight is this weekend.
Yes.
Can't wait. Like, boxing is in a bad place.
Yeah.
But these are two of the best boxers in the world.
Yep.
And they're actually getting in a ring against each other. And it's Saturday night, and it's on Netflix. So you don't have to spend $100 on pay-per-view. It's just going to be on Netflix. If you like to watch The Hunting Wives, just know that you can go to the same place and watch Canelo and Bud Crawford on Saturday night. Well, leading up to this, Netflix is doing those documentaries, like, you know, behind the scenes, Canelo versus Crawford. And I think 2 episodes are done. I started watching them the other night. They're great. They're really good. If you have any interest in watching this fight on Saturday night, which you should because it should be great, Bud Crawford going up 2 weight classes to get in a ring with Canelo. You watch these documentaries, they'll get you fired up. They're really well done. Like the Mayweather ones used to be done for HBO or Showtime or whoever. Netflix is taking that baton and they're doing it well. So if you get bored and you think about watching a fight this weekend, try to knock these out beforehand. Canelo versus Crawford is streaming right now on Netflix.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com right now, they've got a neat little story detailing some unique quarterback matchups for week 2 of the NFL season. Joe Burrow against Trevor Lawrence, J.J. McCarthy against Michael Penix Jr. Like, these are people who played against each other, quarterbacked against each other in college, and now they find themselves meeting in week 2 of the NFL season. So if you haven't read that yet, you can find it. It's on the homepage, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Friday. That means Jessica Benson in studio. So I'll chop it up with her. We'll look back at Thursday night football, look ahead to a big college football weekend, and Sunday's NFL action. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Let's meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.